Okay, let's dive into this. You know how it is, we're all a little obsessed with results, aren't we? The big promotion, the post that goes viral, the perfect performance. We spend so much energy chasing these spectacular waves. But what if we're looking in the completely wrong place? What if the real power isn't in the wave at all, but in the invisible force that creates it? So today, we're going to explore a really simple but profound idea: how to tend the wind.
Our guide for this entire explainer is this one. Beautifully simple Chinese proverb: there are no waves without wind. Just think about that for a second. It's a whole philosophy packed into one sentence. The waves, they're the spectacle. They're the show-offs, right? They're loud, they crash, they get all the attention. But at the end of the day, they're just an effect. The real origin, the true source of all that power, is the wind. It's silent, it's invisible, but without it, the ocean is just still.
All right, so let's really break this down. On one side, you've got the waves. These are the visible results, the spectacle, all the motion and stuff we chase after. But on the other side, you've got the wind. That's the invisible source, the real substance, the meaning that we have to cultivate. Now look, this isn't about choosing one over the other, and it's for sure not about being passive and just doing nothing. It's all about understanding the proper order of things. It's about starting our work from the inside out.
Okay, so how does this actually play out in real life? First up, let's look at truth. We often think of truth as this hard, objective, kind of cold thing. But what is the inner condition? What's the wind that allows the truth to actually be heard and received by another person?
You know who really got this? The great novelist Leo Tolstoy. He understood this perfectly. He said that for a truth to really land, it must be spoken with kindness. Truth isn't a weapon you use to win an argument. It's a gift. And for any gift to be received, it needs the right delivery, right? As Tolstoy put it, if your words aren't understood, it's one of two things. Either they aren't true or you haven't spoken them with love. That love, that kindness, that's the wind.
And Henry David Thoreau, he takes this even further. As he says here, only the words of a loving man can be heard. Think about what that means. It's not about being the cleverest person in the room or being the most technically accurate. The channel that the truth travels through is just as important as the truth itself. Kindness isn't just some nice decoration, it's the actual wind that allows the wave of truth to land in the first place.
So when you put it all together, the wind behind truth is really this combination of internal states. You've got to have kindness as the vehicle. You see its natural signs in humility and simplicity. And this next one is huge. It requires what we could call emotional sovereignty, a still mind that isn't easily provoked. Because you know that saying, he who angers you conquers you? Well, that's it. Without that inner stillness, our so-called truth isn't really truth at all. It's just a reaction in disguise.
All right, let's switch gears and apply this to mastery. We're all in awe of incredible skill, right? That virtuosic performance, the brilliant innovation. We see those impressive waves. But what's the invisible wind that generates that kind of authentic mastery?
Well, take the story of the incredible pianist Glenn Gould. He studied under this brilliant mentor, Alberto Guerrero. And yeah, he absorbed everything he possibly could, but here's the key. He didn't just copy. He followed a different path. First, he absorbed. Then he started to alter what he learned, tweaking it to suit his own nature. Then he completely transfigured it, welding those borrowed ideas into something uniquely his own. And finally, he differentiated himself, developing a voice that was pure Glenn Gould. See? He tended his own wind, and the waves he eventually made were unmistakably his. This is exactly what Ralph Waldo Emerson was talking about. And look, this isn't about arrogance or just rejecting all guidance. Not at all. It's about having the courage to trust your own nature, to take what you've learned from others and have the confidence to make it your own. That self-trust is the hidden source. It's the wind behind all genuine achievement. I love how T.S. Eliot put a sharper point on it. He said immature poets imitate, mature poets steal. Imitation, well, that's hollow. It's just creating someone else's waves. But stealing, in this sense, means taking inspiration and transforming it so completely that it becomes something new, something that belongs only to you. That's the difference between just playing the notes and actually making music.
And that brings us to a critical and maybe a little uncomfortable question. Are you inventing things to do just to avoid the important work? I mean, we are all experts at being busy, but really ask yourself, is your busyness generating any real wind? Any real inner development? Or is it just making a lot of noise, creating the appearance of waves while you avoid the hard, internal work that truly, truly matters?
Okay, finally, let's bring this idea into our relationships. This applies everywhere, from leadership to parenthood. What is the wind that truly connects us to other people and helps them grow?
Think about it.
There are basically two types of leaders. First, you've got the leader who's focused on the waves. They measure their own value by the work they personally do. And what happens? They create dependency. But then there's the leader who is focused on the wind. They measure their value by the work they inspire in others. They don't create followers, they create more leaders. They're not just making waves, they're generating a wind that lifts everyone up.
And this principle applies just as beautifully to being a parent. In a Father's Day speech, Barack Obama cut through all the complexity and noise of parenthood to share this simple truth. Kids are smart. They know we're not perfect. And what they want most from us isn't perfection. It's something much simpler, something way more fundamental. What they truly need is this, your genuine presence. That is the wind. It's not about the perfect activities or the elaborate gestures. Those are just the waves. It's about them knowing that you are there, feeling your love, seeing your example. That interior condition of genuine care, that's what they feel, and that is what they will remember most.
So let's bring all of these threads together. The core idea here is a radical shift in where we put our focus, away from the fleeting effects and toward the sustainable, real source of our power and influence.
So really, it all comes down to this. In every part of our lives, we have a choice. We can chase the waves, the eloquent speech, the virtuosic performance, the big, attentive action. But these are totally hollow without the wind that powers them. The underlying kindness, the deep self-trust, the genuine presence. Chasing waves without tending the wind, man, that's just exhausting yourself for a hollow victory.
And notice the crucial order in this quote from Buddha. Your work and words must be of help to yourself first, and then to others. Now, this is not about being selfish. It's just physics, really. You cannot give what you do not have. You can't generate a wind for other people if there's no wind blowing within yourself. So you see, that proverb, there are no waves without wind, it isn't a pessimistic saying, not at all. It's an orienting one. It gives us a new compass. It invites us to be a little less concerned with the impression we're making, and a whole lot more concerned with the internal condition from which all our actions flow. Tend the wind, and the waves will come.
And so that leaves us with one final personal question. Forget about all the waves you want to make for just a moment, and ask yourself this. What is the wind that you need to tend to right now, today? Is it kindness? Is it self-trust? Is it genuine presence? Whatever it is for you, that is where the real work begins.